do it live.
We'll do it live. Good morning, everyone.
We'll
Welcome
live.
to the Sunday Summary. We're live. I'm Kyle. This is Steve. I don't care. I don't care if anyone's in here. I'm just going to go. Gravenberch. We're in here, and that's all that matters. Gravenberch. Sign a new contract. Tell me I made this thing public. I'm gonna be really pissed at myself if I didn't make this thing public. Jesus Christ.
How do we check?
I'm going to YouTube right now.
I'm already here. Don't even worry about it.
It should be public.
Let me get through the ad.
Let me get through the ad.
Hey, Steven.
Oh, we good?
I mean, I'm watching it.
All right, then you should be good. Jesus.
Yeah, all right, we're good.
All right, okay. As long as it's good. But here's the thing, dude. So Gravenberch signed the new deal. It's valid until 2032. It's crazy to say that. It is being reported that it's $277,000 a week, which it didn't specify. This is just like, you Google it in the AI search or whatever. It says $277,000 per week. I don't know if that includes add-ons or incentives, but let's just say it's base for the sake of argument. Okay. That's way more money than I was expecting him to be making on a contract extension. However, I do think it's deserved. But what does that do? I mean, it's crazy we're talking about this now that like Gravenberch is getting $277,000 a week, because when we think back to when we were discussing Salah's extension, right? 3-4 years ago. And we were like, he should be happy. I swear I was saying this. He should be content with 250. That's what we were saying. We should, with incentives, or 300. Then Salah gets 350. Van Dijk is up at what, 300. And so now we're looking at Gravenberch extension being 277. Face value, what does that number make you think? Face value.
It tells me they value him. And they know that what he does is unique. And he's had a rough go at Bayern. He came here, he wasn't really utilized.
Sure.
And then came into his own. So he's like faced adversity. Tells me that, I mean, he doesn't speak. Like he doesn't.
No, he's
you hear anything negative about him?
No, he's low key.
Well, maybe that's all it takes to get a big pay raise at Liverpool, is to just shut up and sign the deal when they show it to you.
Just be professional. Just sit there. Just do your job. One, you got to do your job. And then when they come in with the contract, you're just like, yeah, I'm here. I'm a professional athlete. I'm going to do my job. That's what you're paying me to do, right? Yeah, sure. I'll sign on the dotted line. 277, say no more. But it just makes me think, what are they offering Konate?
What currency is that, Kyle?
It was pounds.
Okay, so that would put him fourth. You got Salah, then Van Dijk, then Isak at 280, and then it would be Gravenberch right above Gakpo. Gakpo's at 250.
Yeah, the Gakpo
that's
one.
That's what Capology says, this other website.
No, that's accurate. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. So we had to break through this threshold to pay these kinds of players, because prior to this, just bear with me, Steve. Think back for a minute. Think back to the Klopp era when we are buying those Oxlade-Chamberlain players, Salah, Mane. Everyone's in that 30 to 40, maybe 50 million range. The only player at the time that we were paying like a lot of money for was Alisson, but you're not going to pay a goalkeeper more than like 200. I think Alisson's on like 150. I could be wrong.
150.
But he's on 150. And so the point being, all of a sudden now we're signing players, first contract with the club nonetheless, at 250 plus, which at some point we were going to have to do it. And so some may say that the Gravenberch 277 is a bargain. Some may say that, considering what he's, what is he, 24? How old is he? He might be younger than that, dude. He might be like 23.
I can tell you right now.
While you're looking that up, good morning to Gary. Gary says, tally ho, Kyle and Steve.
23.
23. At this point, one is waiting for when Alonso in bloody June, to be honest. So, yeah, so just to kind of shift gears to that comment, Gary, the amount of times that I think this is the third time I've seen this season where Liverpool have a terrible run of form, like we lose a really important game, whether it's Wolves or Galatasaray, or we lose 6 in a row at home, whatever it is. There is a report that comes out. The PR team puts out a report that Liverpool are steadfast behind Arne Slot. I see it every single time. When everyone's like, why is this guy managing our club? There's always a report I see that says, oh, no, the club is fully behind the guy. 3 times this year I've seen it. So it's like, he's not getting fired. He's not getting fired until the end of the season, if he even gets fired. And if we finish in a Champions League spot, I can almost guarantee you he keeps his job. Honestly. I can almost guarantee it.
Well, I think if you're not going to fire him mid-year, especially at the end of the year, it doesn't really, I don't think it makes much sense to do it right now.
No.
As much as we would love some change, and like we know this probably isn't the long-term solution, the only thing you can do is stick behind the manager. Like, do you want Arne Slot to go into a deep depression because he knows he's going to get fired any day? Like, no, you want him to keep doing his job. Like,
yeah, that's what I asked. That's a good question, because I see fans like just every week, week in and week out. As soon as there's a bad result, they're against Slot, and it's like, like as a fan, yeah, you can bitch and moan and not support the man or want the manager out, but what do you think Slot's going to do? What do you think the executive team's going to do? Are they going to they're going to make Slot and make it known to Slot, like, yeah, we're going to fire you at the end of the year? It's like, no, we're going to come out and we're going to say we support everything you're doing, because you got to, that's the only way to do it. If you fire him now, right before the second leg of the, Galatasaray, match, whatever, or a top 4 push, it's like, that's just the stupidest thing you could do. So the fans just got to get behind him. Gary says he has failed with the squad he built, but
true. But if you look at the table, I mean, we could finish 3rd.
Right.
It's not outside of the realm of possibilities. It's actually likely that we finish 5th, but we could finish 3rd. We're 3 points behind United.
So let's look at it this way. If you saying out loud, don't take into account, Steve, any of the other teams that were above or below. Saying out loud that Man United is ahead of us, think about it that way. Doesn't that make the season seem like an utter failure? Knowing what we know about Man United, 100%, right? But then when you say we could finish 3rd or 4th, not thinking about the other teams, does it feel like a failure?
Not a failure. A little disappointing, but not a failure.
And that's how I feel. It kind of changes the way you look at things, though, when you compare it to the other teams that are battling with us, the Man Uniteds, the Chelseas, the Villas, Jesus Christ. So in that manner, you kind of look at it like Slot has underperformed. The team as a whole has underperformed, right? He can't play for the players, but a lot of change this year. So then the question is, how much slack do you give the guy to try to implement these new players, not even a new system, but, if Man United can perform the way Man United are performing, with the turnover, with just all the drama and the egos they have at the club, Liverpool should be Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, no question, top 3 teams the whole season. And it just hasn't been. Team has underperformed, and that's a fact. I think that's how I look at it at this point. And also the football is just terribly boring to watch, dude. Like, I saw a tweet, I screenshotted it because I wanted to read it out loud. And of course, there's going to be people, dude, that are like, hear this and they're like, oh my God, plastic fans, or, going at, bitching at the first sign of, struggle. But if you watch Liverpool every week, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So this tweet, it says, It's so incredibly odd to me how disconnected I have become of Liverpool. Used to plan my whole week around the matches up to last season, even the start of this season. Now I can't be bothered. Only just figured out we're only playing Tottenham tomorrow. It can't just be me, can it? And I was kind of like, I just connected with that tweet. Like, you're right. I'm kind of just like disconnected from them. They're so boring to watch, and it's one win, it's one loss. And, even big games like Galatasaray, we can't show up to play and we lose. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, I think you mentioned that we've talked about it 1,000 times, that the football is boring to watch.
So boring.
And it's a big part of, if you think about the club as a business, the product that we're putting out on the field is, regardless of results, it's lame. The product itself, what you watch, the eye test, it's deflating.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that they need to put a better product out there. No one's going to tell me or get me to believe that the club doesn't know that. The club, the leadership. So I don't think Slot's going to be the manager next season. I don't know if it's going to be Alonso. I don't know who it's going to be. I mean, we wouldn't have expected Arne Slot to come in, and we fell in love with him. We did. We loved him.
We did.
We loved how much of a cutthroat style business approach he took every day in all of the interviews on the touch line. It was just something different. And it's not gonna, we're getting an echo here.
From you?
From your computer. I'm hearing myself come through. No, it's not like a technical issue, Kyle. It's not a technical issue. You need headphones.
Oh, I need headphones?
There he is. Classic headphones with the cord.
Say no more. Oh my God. And I'm going to hit you with some knowledge, bro. Okay. Is it better now?
Testing. Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
You just can't have the sound coming out of your computer.
All right, I'm going to hit you with some real knowledge here. And unless I'm being trolled, it actually worked. All right, so you know how AirPods are like this, right? I mean, for the most part, it's just without the cord. So apparently you're not supposed to wear them like this. You're supposed to put them in the opposite ear and rotate them up, and it sits in the crevice of the top of your ear and doesn't fall out. I shit you not. I did it last night for the first. No, opposite ear. So you put the left one in the right ear, and they don't fall out. It's unbelievable. And then you rotate it up into the crevice of the top of your ear, and that's how they're supposed to fit. You actually tuck the top part into like the ear. And then they don't fall out.
Well, it's definitely not how they're made to be worn.
Bro, I'm not kidding you. The instructions say rotate until comfortable or whatever. It's weird, and unless I'm being trolled, I swear I saw something like that last night, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to try it out. Why not? Did it. They didn't fall out. Because I usually fall asleep with my AirPods in. And they didn't fall out all night. Anyways.
I don't like this. Can we switch back?
Okay. Okay.
How do I do this? I got to leave.
Yeah, you just remove yourself.
Here we go. I don't like being over there.
All right, where the hell were we at? Slot leaving at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna make a change, an amicable change, part ways. He'll go coach somewhere else, maybe Tottenham, maybe somewhere overseas. Who knows? Or not overseas, abroad. I don't know if it'll be Alonso. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
We just keep being linked with Alonso. It does make sense, but it's. I mean, do you hire Alonso?
I want the guy from PSG, Enrique.
Yeah, I remember you saying 2 weeks ago you liked him, or he's a really good coach.
There's also Gerrard. Like, is Gerrard at the top of the list? Probably not, but like
no.
No, but dude, just because he has struggled other places doesn't mean it couldn't work here. I don't think it's worth the risk at all, but like I don't think it's
No.
out of the realm of possibilities.
It's tough. It's a tough situation because really, I guess Chavi's at the top of the list, right? I mean, who else? All we see is the Chavi link. So at this point, I'm kind of like, let's just ride it out with Slot and let's see where we end up at the end of the year. If he pulls off something great, maybe he stays. But I like what you said about there's no way the ownership is up there thinking the football is satisfactory. There's no way. Unless they're not watching the sport. There's no way that they're thinking that.
I'm sure they're watching.
So, and with that in mind, I actually saw a list. We'll move on to the next topic with players out this summer. Obviously, Federico Chiesa's on that list. I saw Calvin Ramsey's looking for a move away as well. A surprising list, or excuse me, a surprising name on that list was Rio, Steve. Rio.
No.
There's no way that man leaves. And Calvin Ramsey, I can get behind. Obviously, Federico Chiesa, not Slot's cup of tea. But Jesus Christ, Rio? Why would that
that's
even
not
be
happening.
considered? Why would that even be considered?
I don't think it is.
Another thing too, with him starting in the FA Cup match, I think you play him today too.
Yeah, I've been calling for him for a month.
I think he should be starting at this point. And then, I mean, we're probably going to see Gakpo though, to be honest with you, because I only think, let me see who's out. Yeah, it's just Endo, Isak, Bradley, and Leone still. Everyone else, and then Allison may be back, but no, Rio should be starting, dude. I think Rio, Ekitike, Salah, Verts, and a lot of people have been criticizing playing Verts on the left. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you just try to get as many good players on the field as you can. Nothing's working, so like I don't care. I really don't care. Rio should play more. Aside from that, I do not care. Like, figure it out. Soboslai's got to be in there. I want Verts in there as well.
Those are the only two non-negotiables right there.
I mean, besides Van Dijk and Allison and, whoever. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Allison will be a game time decision. Yeah, Allison will be a game time decision, but they're missing a lot of players. They're missing Benton,
Tottenham?
Basuma. Yeah, they're missing a lot of players. All right, listen to this. They're missing Basuma, Bentancur, Ben Davies, Bergvall, Kudus, Kulusevski, Madison, Udogi, and Odebear. And then Conor Gallagher
in 16th.
I know. It's just crazy how many players they have out. And then Van de Ven and Christian Romero aren't playing either.
Oh, my God.
So, like, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, if we don't win this game 8-0, like, there's no excuse why at Anfield, there's no excuse why we shouldn't dominate this team. And historically, the Tottenham match is always a good and competitive one, but not when you have 6 of your starting 11 out with injury.
Literally playing against their U21s. If all of that you just mentioned is correct, you're playing against U19s.
Like,
and also, I would say, if Allison's on the fence, keep him out. Give him another week. Or whatever. When do we play
he'll
again?
definitely be ready for the second leg of the Galatasaray match. That's what Slot was just saying. It was like something minor.
Wednesday.
But
yeah, give him another 4 days.
So they actually, all right. So on March 10th, Tottenham, played Madrid. Kinski had his debut. Apparently, it was awful. Maybe not his debut, but apparently,
who's that?
He's their goalkeeper. Their backup to Vaccaro. Anyways, they had Kinski, Romero, Donzo. I forgot Donzo played for them. Van de Ven, Porro, Spence, Sarr, Gray, Tell, Kolo Muani and Richarlison.
It's not terrible.
It's not. It's actually not. I
They
thought
have a
that
little
when
bit
I
of
read
depth
it.
over there. But you're
They
talking
do
about this
have a
guy
lot of depth.
Donzo? How do you even know who that is? Who is that?
He's an Austrian center back.
Donzo?
Danzo, however you pronounce it.
Jeez, I'm lost, man.
Yeah, you're out of it.
Followed them at all this year. Oh my god,
No.
they're so bad.
They're struggling, but they have. When you look at the team sheet, you're like, oh, okay, but they don't. Who was their last coach? The Ange. No, not is it? Yes, Ange. I watched a little clip, dude. They interviewed Ange, and Ange just kind of went off on Tottenham, basically saying that he's submitting lists of players that they wanted to go and get. Right, this was when he was there, and then players on the list were names like Semenyo, right? Players that like we're in for. And Tottenham, he was saying like written on their stadium is to dare is to do. And they just wouldn't go and get these players. Like they finished 5th his first year, and they're trying to compete and go out and get those bigger name players, and they just won't do it. And so, yeah, they have a lot of depth, but they have a lot of depth with just average players, despite us knowing who they are. Like Kolo Muani, we know that name. We know Richarlison. We know Sarr. We know Romero and Van de Ven and all that. But these guys aren't top players. And then you get all these injuries, right? Vicario, I mean, he's good. But like Conor Gallagher, I thought was a good signing. James Maddison, I thought was a good signing. Even Kudus or Kulusevski. But those players aren't, Florian Wirtz, Isak. They're not.
I can tell you what they do. I can tell you exactly what it is. They get players that play for teams. I mean, I think Kulusevski may have come from Juventus. Am I right?
I think you're right.
Okay, so that's a big club, right? But they get players that deserve an upgrade to a larger club, a bigger club that none of the truly big clubs would sign. Like Tottenham's part of the big 6, right? But like, do you think Liverpool would sign some of those guys? No, not a chance. Those guys deserve an upgrade from where they were at. Madison's a perfect example.
Yep.
Richarlison's a perfect example. Yeah. And they want to come play. It's a big club. It's in the Premier League. They have a brand new stadium. They probably have incredible facilities. It's in London. It makes sense for a lot of these guys. But these guys like are not getting touted by Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich, right? Like they're at these smaller clubs and they need an upgrade, and that's where careers go to die. And then when you're there, you can't get out. Think about Kane. Kane tried to leave for 5 years.
Bro, people sleep on how good Kane really was for Tottenham. I mean, Kane and Son, they're gone now. See you later. And what are they doing? They're 16th.
They got nobody.
They don't.
They have players. They're above average. You're right. But they got nobody.
Well, because you look at the players they have, and we have been linked with several of them. We were linked with Basuma, Van de Ven, even Christian Romero before he made that move there. We have been linked with a lot of these players, right? But even Mane, I've been seeing all these clips. Mane did an interview where he met with Man United. He met with Tottenham when Poch was there. And then who's the Dutch guy? The Dutch guy with the huge forehead that managed Man United. What the
Ten
hell?
Hag?
No. Way before him. It was the guy who signed Memphis Depay. I think it was almost right after Alex Ferguson left. He coaches the Netherlands. He's coached the Netherlands for like a decade.
Dude, I don't know.
Doesn't matter. That guy met with him, Mane, and he was like, Mane said, how am I going to get into this team? You got all these guys. You got Depay. You got all these like top talents. I'm not going to play. Then he goes to Tottenham. He said, I went to Tottenham and they had a nice facility, and I felt like I was going to play. And then he said he met with Liverpool, and he's like, "Oh no!" And he like shot down Tottenham because it was Man United and Tottenham were the only two teams in, and then Klopp called him, and he was like, "I'm definitely going to Liverpool." So it's like you're right. It's like these players get. I don't know if they just couldn't make it at a Liverpool. Like I think Basuma could have played with us. I think
some of them could.
We're
some
in with
of them
Van.
could. It's like they settle though. They Tottenham is an upgrade over 99% of the clubs in Europe.
Yeah.
And they have money and they'll pay you a solid wage. But imagine the big step in your career is to go to Tottenham. And you get there, and within 12 or 18 months, Kane, Son, gone. Everybody's gone.
It's a little rough.
It's brutal.
I will say though, they are able to keep guys. I mean,
well, they don't let you leave. That's what I was saying about Kane. Kane was trying to get out of there.
Yeah, he was trying to get out of there for a while. I wonder, can you pull up their salary? I'm just curious, like their contract list. Because if I remember correctly, they paid Kane like $200K.
Oh, Xavi Simons, the highest paid player, $195.
Yeah, see, that's pretty crazy.
Romero $195, Madison $170, Gallagher $160, Kolo Muani $150, Kudus $150, Dominic Solanke $140.
Oh, I forgot about Solanke.
Polina $135, Kulusevski $110, Charleston $90, Van de Ven $90, Poro $85. Bunch of guys.
Charleston's on $90?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild, Steve.
You think it should be higher?
I would expect it to be higher. I don't think it should be higher.
I don't think he's worth shit, but I would expect it to be higher too.
Yeah. Wow.
But like he would have accepted $14K a week to get out of Everton. I mean,
he probably would.
But that's my point. That's my point. Like they get these guys that just need a bigger club, but like have no. Even Kudus, when he came in, people were like, "Oh my god, what a signing! He's got 2 goals.
It was a good signing. Yeah,
he's got 2 goals. The season's almost over.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a break. He had 5 at West Ham last year. 5.
Yeah, isn't that is a little crazy, isn't it?
It's absurd.
Like when he was at Ajax, he was like, "Ooh, the next big thing," but just flopped. You know, like
break.
Oh gosh, dude. I'm gonna pull up the actual head-to-head matchup with these two here. All right, where are you at? Primetime kickoff at 12:30. All right, you got Tottenham sitting in
65. They paid for Simons. 65. Same for Kudus.
60.
Gallagher, 40 mil.
I mean,
none of these are big numbers. Like,
who's our top goal scorer this year? Let me see.
Dude, probably Richarlison. I don't know. Solanke, 65.
That one was crazy to me. That one was wild. When they signed Solanke for that amount, I was like, what?
Yeah, well.
I also just think ever since I watched that All or Nothing Tottenham thing, I just feel like they can't negotiate. I really don't think they have any power in negotiating. So they just have to pay. They have to overpay for these average to above average players. Like Dominic Solanke, I know we sold him for like 18 or 19 mil, but if we bought him back from Bournemouth, I can almost guarantee you we wouldn't have paid a dime over 40. I can guarantee you. But Bournemouth goes to the table with Tottenham. They're like, all right, we want 60. We want 65 now that you mention it. All right. So it's been a goal fest the last 5 matches against Spurs. We had a 2-1 win in December, 5-1 win previous April, 6-3. Jesus. 4-2, and then our last loss came September 30th. I don't know if that was 24 or 23. We lost 2-1.
That was the one with the Matip own goal and the Diaz offside, I think.
Oh my God, the Diaz offside.
No, not in September, actually. That one was towards the end of the year, I think.
That Diaz offside. I'll never get over that.
Yeah, we were down to 10 men, I think, or 9 men, and we still hung on, and then Matip tapped it in.
We played incredible. It was unbelievable. So, all right, so looking at matches won, Spurs have only won 7 matches, Steve. They've drawn 8 and they've lost 14. They scored 39 goals this season. We've only scored 48. We've only scored 9 more goals than them. They're averaging 1.34 goals a game. The stats aren't not that different, which is kind of crazy. We're averaging 1.66 goals per game. We're averaging 1.34 goals conceded. They're averaging 1.6. So everything's reversed, essentially. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, I can see this game being like a draw, and that'll just drive me insane.
No, it can't be.
It can't. No, I'm not saying it should. I'm saying I just can see it. And I'm looking at the table now.
Arnaud Danjuma? They had him too. Where's he? Is he still there?
Oh my God! You just brought up like a core memory. I remember that signing.
He's at Valencia.
Is he on loan or they sold him?
I don't know, but dude, guess what his market value is?
10 million.
4.
4?
He was at 50.
Danjuma? Was that the Bournemouth guy?
Yes. Bournemouth,
Yeah.
Villarreal, Everton, Girona. Now he's at Valencia.
Oh my God. No. Okay, so it wasn't. He went to it was Everton. It wasn't Tottenham.
No, he was here too.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, I don't know when, but he was here.
Oh my God.
Right here.
Dude.
Yeah, it might have been a loan. 23.
God, that's crazy. Hey, let me hit you with something that might blow your mind. Everton are ahead of Newcastle in the table.
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle's just an interesting situation.
Let me hit you with something even crazier. Everton are 5 points behind us.
Yeah.
5.
It was only a matter of time before they kind of figured it out a little bit, you know?
I couldn't tell you, except for maybe Michael Keane. Who the hell is on Everton these days?
They got a striker. What's his name?
Oh, yeah. Berto or Bento or something?
Yeah. He's all right. Pickford.
Pickford, Jesus Christ. I'm getting sucked into this table now because I'm just looking at the teams that are close behind us, and I'm like, we are so much better than all of these teams.
Yeah, but if you don't perform, like, are you actually?
Oh my God,
just because we have better quality doesn't. Clearly, for the first time this year, I've learned that it means nothing.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Especially not if the football you're playing is just so boring. So boring. It's like, when am I going to see just the decisive and explosiveness of Verts and, Ekitike and Soboslai are really the only ones this year I've been like, yes! Like, give me some more of that. Those guys are playing out of their minds. Yeah. And I still think
Rio
there's more.
Too. I think Rio's in that bucket. Every chance he gets, he's in there trying to make something happen. And I'll give Chiesa credit too. When Chiesa comes on, he tries something.
He does. That one game he started,
makes a little bit of a difference.
He's just a substitute, though. That one game he started, he was ass.
Mm-hmm.
He was so bad.
He was.
All right, so if we win today, who does Villa play today? Or do they play tomorrow? Villa plays Man United at 10. Okay, so we
need that to be a draw.
Yeah, that's a huge. That's a huge game. Okay, so if it's a draw, we go above Chelsea in the table, and we're 1 point behind Villa. Oh my God, dude. This is just we can't I can't believe we lost that Wolves match. I cannot believe we lost that Wolves match. They have 3 wins, Steve. They have 16 points.
Yeah, I know.
Steve, they have 16 points.
I know.
Did you hear me?
Dude, we had 16 points after the first 5 matches. 6 matches. That's how bad they are.
Let me hit you with something.
25 matches later. We could have dissolved as a club. 5 months ago, we'd have the same amount of points as Wolves. Like more than that, actually.
Wait. I know. Look, we can talk all that shit, but we have lost. January. We've lost to every team that's in the relegation zone. It's funny.
I just want this season to end. I just want to figure out, are we going to win the FA Cup? Get past Galatasaray and then figure out the Champions League later.
Just
and
beat
the
Galatasaray.
Premier League season can just end because Man City dropped points. Arsenal are up 9. God.
It's going to be the year, dude. Arsenal's going to win it.
Well, Arsenal, they play each other. So City have a game in hand, plus they have one more head-to-head in the league, I believe.
So they could have a 6-point swing, theoretically.
So it would be, let's just say they win their game in hand. They'd be down 6 points. Then they win against Arsenal.
They're down 3.
They'd be down 3 points. They would need Arsenal to drop. They just need to win out, and they need Arsenal to lose to them and maybe one other team.
Yeah.
The goal differential, that's the tiebreaker? Or we don't even remember what the tiebreaker is.
I actually think I think they stopped doing the goal differential or maybe that's in the Champions League. I honestly, they stopped doing it somewhere. I can't remember if it's head to head now or what, but I could be, maybe I'm misremembering that, but I'm almost certain. But while you're looking that up, let me go over to the chat. Ross, how you doing, man? Ross says Kudus needs the right manager. Gravenberch wasn't tearing up trees until Slot came along. And then Ross, with a little bit of optimism here, says in contention for the top 4, and some say we're having a crisis season. 2 things can be true, and I think both things are true. I think we are. I wouldn't say crisis season, but it's been a bad season, relatively for Liverpool. Paul Diamond, what's going on?
Ross is always optimistic, and I love that because somebody's got to be. Somebody's got to stay positive when we. I mean,
we're usually.
I've said this before, Ross. Like I said this a lot, especially like December, January, like shortly after we went through like that actual crisis where we lost everything.
No, God.
The fact that we're still relevant and fighting for, I mean, we could finish 3rd. It's literally, I would argue, I don't know, but I bet you the odds show that we will finish 3rd.
We should.
I bet you we're favorites to finish 3rd out of all these teams. I don't know, but like it's very simple. You just look at the players on all these teams. So
hey, Steve, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I do want to point something out here. I wonder when the last time the top 4 was Arsenal, City, Man United, and Liverpool. Not necessarily in that order, but that top 4. Because those are like the clubs. Like Chelsea, Villa. I mean, there's no one else. It's like those top 4. When was the last time we had those top 4? Because
maybe the year Mourinho was at United and they finished 2nd.
Because it would have been City, United, Liverpool, but maybe Tottenham, or maybe wasn't that the year Arsenal missed Champions League?
I don't know if Arsenal finished 4th that year. Let me see.
What year was that? I'm going to go all the way back to like 14, 15. Chelsea. Oh, okay. So 14-15 was close. It was Chelsea, City, Arsenal, United. Then 15-16, Leicester. So it's just been all over the place. 16-17, Chelsea, Spurs, City, Liverpool, and then Arsenal, Man United, Everton. That one was pretty top heavy. 17-18, City, United, Spurs, Liverpool. So it's like, and then we have City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs in 18-19. 19-20, dude, 19-20, Arsenal finished 8th. So that was the year we won it, obviously. It was Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea. Leicester finished 5th that year. Then we have City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea. We haven't had it. That's kind of crazy.
Well, I think you're giving Arsenal a little too much credit. I think Chelsea is probably more deserving of being in the conversation where we're surprised that we haven't seen it as often.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just surprised. And I'm surprised Leicester did so well for so long. I mean, a 5th place finish, an 8th place finish, a Premier League title. And now they're about to get relegated from the championship, aren't they? I mean,
I don't know. I have no
idea. The fall off is just crazy, dude, from some of these clubs.
Said
this season has been mad for most teams. Everyone is beating everyone.
But he's
right.
I've said it's right. Tough. It's a tough year, but that doesn't make it okay. Because in order to say that, what you just said, Ross, and be okay with it and have it feel understandable, you'd have to put Liverpool in the same boat as these other teams. And we're not. We shouldn't be. We haven't been for 10 years. We're literally with Brentford in the table. We're right next to Brentford in the table. And you got Villa. I get it. Villa can be tough. They got a solid manager, but United, Chelsea above us, that's a problem.
It's the United for me.
That's a problem Chelsea, because they're in shambles.
Yeah.
They're swapping managers.
This is what's happened to us. For the last 2 years on this show, you go back, you listen to us. We have been absolutely shitting on United and Chelsea because the manager turnover, the players they sign, we've been critical of that. And talent-wise, they've signed decent players, they just haven't performed. And we've shit on that because we were better than them. Now we are having the exact same problem that they had. Maybe not the exact same problem because I don't think it's an ego thing. Right now, it's just how the manager is using the players, and I feel like there's no consistency in that aspect. But we are now struggling the same way those two clubs have struggled for the last 2 or 3 seasons. We don't have that chemistry, that drive, but we still find ourselves kind of in the mix. And so now we can't talk shit anymore, dude. We're the same exact club this season as Chelsea and Man United have been. Same exact kind of club.
Yep.
We're no longer Man City or Arsenal. Something does have to change next year. And as long as we can secure Champions League football, I will consider, and I've said this, I will consider this season a success because all things considered, listen, at the start of the year, I'm not just wishing for Champions League football. Let's be very clear on that, okay? Considering the trials and tribulations and the losses and the complete lack of consistency in performances, if we finish champions in a Champions League spot, it's a successful season for me. Not saying, I know why you're rolling your eyes, but do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do. You've changed your expectations. That's the problem.
100%. That's it.
That's the problem that we all have.
Yeah.
We're settling. But what if we
don't have a
fifth and get in the
choice.
Champions League? What if we finish fifth and get in? You okay with that? I mean, yeah, we get to play Champions League next year. That's great. We expect that. But
so here's the issue I have. If we don't finish in the Champions League, that is a huge blow to not only the morale of the club, because we've signed all these big name players with the expectation of playing in Europe, right? And yeah, we'll play in the fucking Europa League, whatever. But this team should be in Champions League football. We're still going to be battling for the Premier League at the start of next season, and we're still going to have these great players. So as long as we secure that top European spot, it won't be a huge blow to morale. We'll still be able to recruit the players we want to recruit because we'll have all options available for football that the Arsenals, the Cities, the Uniteds, whoever will have. And in that sense, I consider it a success. Plus, whatever coach we're trying to recruit, if we do fire Slot, we'll see that, okay, they have Champions League football. That is a huge deterrent to players and coaches alike who are trying to come in, or if we're trying to recruit them. So that's the only way I'm looking at it as a success, because we haven't deserved to finish top four, frankly.
No, we haven't.
We haven't.
We haven't. And also, so if we don't get Champions League, you can still fill some of the gaps in the squad. Like you would say, I mean, we have Leone's going to come back.
Sure.
And the guy that we signed from France, is he coming this summer?
Oh, you're talking about the defender? Yeah, this summer.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like if you can just lock up Konate, like I'm fine at center back. I feel fine.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
There's a couple other pieces that we've talked about all year that we need. Like you might have to add a midfielder just because like maybe McAllister's played a lot of football. Maybe he's starting to decline. I don't know. He's not that young. Like he's been playing a lot of football for 5 years straight. And I still love him, but we haven't seen it. We haven't seen anything spectacular from him.
No, he's underperformed.
We give him a lot of credit because he won the World Cup and he won the league with us and he's been really good sometimes, but I haven't seen shit from him. That's number one. You got Rio, you got Gakpo. Who knows what's going to happen with Salah? We don't need a ton. So, and we're not going to let anybody go. If we don't win Champions League football, I don't think you're going to see big departures. I don't think you're going to see big departures anyways. We don't do that. The only one I could see potentially would maybe be Salah. But I think there's enough left in the tank and enough motivation for him to push to stay, to chase these records and whatnot. And I think he's still Mo Salah. So, like, we'll see what happens. It's been a weird year. I don't think you're going to see big departures regardless. But even if you don't make Champions League football, you can still fill some gaps in the squad. So it's not the end of the world because it's not like we're at a point now where we need to rebuild and we need to draw in 5-6 players. We've already did that. We already have everybody. So if they don't make Champions League football, it's going to sting, but I don't think it's going to change what we need and if we're able to get it or not. I don't think it's going to change that. In years past, we've had that thought like, oh man, these players aren't going to want to come if we don't make Champions League football. We already have Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike. They're not going anywhere. You lock up Konate, you extend Soboslai, you got Frimpong, you got all the Kirkaz, you got all these guys. And I don't think we need a ton more. We need to use what we have and get better with it. And so that's probably the manager. But I don't think Alonso would be like, I'm not going to go to Liverpool because they're not in the Champions League. I'm going to go coach. Who else? Like, where else would he go? He's already been at the top. Like, nothing else is going to excite him.
So let's be clear.
8 months in the Europa League is not the end of his life. Like,
I agree with that point that it's not necessarily like, oh, it's a deal breaker. But it'd be naive to say it doesn't have some impact when you're thinking about your next career move, whether you're a player or a coach. It absolutely does. That aside, the only players I could see even remotely leaving this summer, obviously the highest chance of leaving would be Konate, right? If he leaves on a free, if we don't get him locked down. Gakpo and Salah are the other two. Everyone else is good. Everyone else is staying. Okay. Unless Robbo and Gomez are out of contract. But I think they have another year, don't they?
I think Robbo might be out of contract. I'm not sure.
Okay, those
I'm
are two I have
sure.
to check on. Those are two I have to check on.
But like those aren't big departures. I will miss Robbo. I love Robbo. It will hurt personally, but it's not a big departure because he's barely playing. Number one.
I know. I brought
love
those up
Gomez
as
too. I want Gomez. I literally wish Gomez would stay here till he's 100 because I think there's a place for him, a time and a place to slot Joe Gomez in, no pun intended.
Yeah.
A dozen, 15, 16 times a year. We need him.
I know.
It's not a big departure. We already have the world-class footprint. We already have the foundation. You bring in a couple other people, you extend a couple contracts, you're fine. But if you don't make Champions League football, that's when big departures can happen. That's the Szoboszlai may not resign. Konate, maybe these guys are waiting for that. But all the names we brought in over the last few years, aside from Szoboszlai and Konate, they're not going anywhere. They're not for sale. They're not going anywhere. So, like, I just don't. It's an interesting time. It really is. It's something to discuss. It's a very interesting time.
I think that point you brought up about them waiting, that could be heavily influencing their decision to sign an extension. I didn't even think about that.
But it's also like it's only 1 year because we'll be back. Like how important is it to make sure you're playing in the Champions League next season? Some players, it's probably huge if they're not used to the Champions League. If they're making a big decision of where am I going to take my career next? Players that are coming from smaller clubs, they want to play Champions League football. But like, I don't think Szoboszlai and Konate, I don't want to believe that they're the types of players to say, oh, well, if we're not in the Champions League, I'm going to go play elsewhere. You got to uproot your life for that for 1 year. You're already at the pinnacle. You're already playing for one of the biggest clubs ever.
No. It's not a deal breaker. Again, I think, but it does make an impact on like negotiations, right? Because say you're negotiating a contract with the basis of incentives or certain like performance bonuses based on like Champions League, right? But you don't know if you're going to be in there. So that impacts the value of the contract. These are I'm just thinking, but it's not a deal breaker. But I mean, it's actually a good point. If you're an agent, you kind of want to include those negotiation tactics. Like, hey, if we're playing in the Champions League, you're going to be getting this much revenue. We want this much as a bonus or whatever. But yeah, the Konate one, I don't know. I think Szoboszlai stays. I think he signs an extension. If Gravenberch signs an extension, that was quick. But the Konate one, man, I don't know. He's dragging his feet. To be honest with you, I think he's actually lost some of the fan base with his performances this year. I still want to keep him, but I think he's lost a good amount of people this year.
If the position was stacked and it was easy to find a replacement, a top center back, he would have lost me already. But I just don't think it's that easy to bring in somebody with his experience, his age, his athleticism that's been an understudy of Van Dijk for so long. He's going to be all right.
Yeah.
I don't think he should ever be our number one and like the leader back there. He could turn out to be the best we have. But like after Van Dijk goes, he's not a leader. Like Konate's not a leader. We're going to need somebody else to take the reins on that front. And then Ross here says we can take a hit for one season. And that's what I'm getting at. We're not in shambles if we don't make Champions League. Having said that, we of course want to make Champions League. I'm not watching Europa League. I mean, I will, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like we just did this a few years ago. I don't want to do this again. So, but it's not the end of the world because we did so much business already. It's not the end of the world.
We have all the pieces in place to be successful in Europe, in the league, for years and years and years to come. I think I think signing Leone and then this Jaquette guy, I'm feeling very high on those guys. Where I'm not feeling high is Slot, dude. I just don't know if he's the guy. After this season, there are questions about is he the guy going forward. Jury's still out, though. Jury's still out, dude.
No, it's not. Not as far as I'm concerned. I respect the man. Thank you for the trophy. Hopefully we can steal another one this year. But for me, you know what the final straw was? It's the final straw was that we turned it around and we were okay, and then we're starting to lose again to shit teams.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not plugging in Rio, that's really bothering me. Every single week, I'm like, why is he not playing? What is Gakpo giving you over there that has your panties in a bunch? What is Gakpo doing for you?
So, look, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here, okay? As much as Rio has been giving you, right? He's still 17 or 18 years old. So as long as he's subbing him on, I'm like, okay, you're at least playing him. You're giving him a chance to make a difference. But you have Gakpo, right? Gakpo is, whether you like him or not, he's the better player of the two. Maybe not on current form, but he is the better player of the two. So you're going to start him 8 times out of 10, unless it's like a cup game. It's which we've seen Rio. My problem is earlier in the year, he wasn't playing him. Like he played him the first 2 games of the year, and then you didn't see him. And it wasn't until recently he started to play. So that rubs me the wrong way. But do you actually think it's prudent to start Rio as opposed to sub him on in the 60th or 70th minute?
Here's why I think so. Because Gakpo is he's a system player. We've seen him play incredible. He's been world class at times. He's played in big matches, big tournaments, club and country. He's
good.
He's good. However, when you have no chemistry up front, when Salah's gone for a couple months and then he's out of form, when you got Isak that goes down, when you have Ekitike who's great but still new, like Gakpo's supposed to be the guy that, like, he's been here, so you can rely on him. We can't rely on him. And when you're losing games and you're not scoring goals, Gakpo's not going to do anything to turn that around. But Rio comes in and he makes something happen.
I see what you're saying. So,
and it's like Slot doesn't want to take that risk, because could you make the argument that Gakpo's better than Rio? Of course. 10 days out of the week, you could. A better all-around player. But is he what we need? No, we don't need stability or experience on the front left side of the pitch. We need somebody that's going to make somebody, that's going to nutmeg somebody, put a shot on target or put a cross in.
Like, excellent point.
That's what we need.
Excellent point, right? Which is why I think Slot is using him more often as a sub, because he can come in and he can give all-out burn for 20, 30 minutes. Not even 30 most times, probably like 20. And that's why we see him creating so many chances. I can guarantee you if he starts, I'm reading too much into it, but I think you get what I'm saying. I'm not critical of Slot for subbing Rio on. I'm critical if he's not playing Rio at all. And I think a lot of people are saying we need to start Rio. We need to start Rio. But then you're bringing Gakpo on later in the game, and you just said yourself he's a system guy. He's not like an immediate impact guy. So you really don't have anything. You're kind of doing both players a disservice. Whereas if you start Gakpo, you're using his strengths in this quote-unquote system, and then you can bring Rio on and use his strengths as like a difference maker, energy guy, taking guys on. So you're kind of trying to bring the best out of both of them when you do it Gakpo then Rio. But I do understand.
It's not working.
I know.
And that's why you can't be scared to make a change if you're Slot, because it's not working. We get that thought process. Gakpo for 68 minutes, Rio for 22. We get it. It's not working. So maybe Gakpo just sits. Rio plays for 60 and somebody else goes in over there. Chiesa. Or, I mean, it would be different if Isak was fit, right? It would be different.
Yep.
But you let Diaz walk. And he is a certain type of player. He brings energy. And then we're just relying on, you lose Jota. Diaz walks. And we're relying on Gakpo. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence. We're getting nothing from that side. It's pointless to even bring the ball up on the left side with Gakpo there. I like Gakpo, but when everybody else is out of form, he will follow suit. He will not keep you afloat. When you put Rio in, things change. And Ross says here, like, he's young. We don't want to burn him up. He's played like 10 games.
Yeah, he really hasn't.
I'm not saying run him out there 100 minutes every 5 days, but he needs to play more.
He also might be doing. He's probably playing for the U21s or U23s or whatever too in between games. Is he not?
I don't think he is. I don't know. I doubt it. It doesn't make any sense to like run him out there and like risk an injury, but I could be wrong. But when he comes on, literally 1 minute of Rio on the pitch, more will be created, more will happen, more excitement, better product of football than 65 of Gakpo. That's the way it is. Gakpo can plug into a system that's running like a well-oiled machine, but he will not create and make things happen on a regular basis. You can give Rio the ball 100 times and he will attack 85. Gakpo, I don't really know what he's I don't know what he's great at.
There's so many times if he gets the right angle, if he's able to get the right angle on his defender, he can score. But he's not a dribble past you guy. He's not a Diaz. He's not a Rio. He also, his awareness of like where his runners are at is very poor. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people criticize him on is like, if Kirkej is making that run, he doesn't find him. He just kind of tries to take his guy on and dribble to the right and whatever. But this is my closing thought to wrap everything up here. I didn't realize what kind of player we had with Diaz until he left and all we had was Gakpo.
Talked about this last year.
I know, but look, hey, I'm at least man enough to sit here and say, hey, I'm realizing now.
Not even with you. Just I feel like he was so undervalued. His work rate, his creativity, his willingness to put in the hard yards. And like, yeah, he could go 3 months without scoring, like sometimes, but he did something. He offered something. Gakpo's just a piece. He's just there. It's no knock on him. He's not the type of player that can carry you. He can't.
But he has games. And it's hot and cold. Whereas Diaz, you saw the effort in that every game, even if he didn't have the final result. Gakpo has games where he's the only one doing anything. I will say that.
He does. I like Gakpo. Let me just, again, repeat that. I like him. It's no knock on him. He should play. But Rio deserves more chances. And that's one thing, again, just back to this before we wrap up. That's one of the things that's bothered me this year about Slot. It's like, dude, you think you know better? We're all watching this. We're literally all watching this. You put Rio on, things change. Things happen. And it's exciting. Who doesn't love when Rio comes on?
I love it.
Yeah, we're all just like, all right, I mean, you could be down like 3-0. He comes on, you're like, all right, well, I guess I won't turn it off. I'll just keep watching because he's gonna do something.
I still feel that excitement too with Verts, dude. I still love watching Verts. There's still that anticipation there. I don't have it as much for Ekitike anymore, but when Isak comes back, I will too. So here, the rumored 11: Allison, Dom, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gravenberch, McAllister, Verts, Frimpong, Gakpo, Rio. Frimpong, Gakpo, Rio is wild.
Where's Ekitike? Is he hurt?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I don't know what this is either. Anyways, closing thoughts. Must win. I would love to see Rio play the whole game. It was a big game because they are a big club. And it would be a really good experience for him to get out there and play. And if he stinks, take him off.
God, if Rio could just burn Poro a few times.
He can burn them all.
Man. You got any score predictions?
No.
We're not doing it.
No, I'm done.
I can tell you what, there's going to be at least 3 goals in this game. There's going to be at least 3 goals. There's going to be a lot of goals. There always is, regardless of who's playing, because Tottenham have their entire team out. But there's still going to be 3 goals. We're still going to find a way to concede. So, Steve, thanks for being here.
Charleston will find a way to do something stupid.
Of course he will. Of course he will. 90,000.
Yeah, thanks to everybody in the chat.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. Enjoy the game today, Reds. Until next time, take care.